deal with when you with a female. I don't think it's race related. My personal opinion.
Killer is wild.
He's not wrong.
Exactly.
I have a quick take, and I'm gonna just make it short. I really just think it's based upon environment, because a lot of the like top athletes go to, like certain schools like a Duke or like UCLA or something like that. I just think that going to, like, for example, I went to a PWI, there was only like 8% black people, and most of the black people played on sports, so the pool was real small. I feel like if they're dating or have a girlfriend or whatever in college, she's most likely gonna be white, and that's who's gonna follow him when he transitions to the league. That's just kind of what I've seen. And also, like, a difference is, like, for me, like, I went to college for education. Some people go to college to find love. So if that's your agenda and you're looking for a boo and he happens to be playing a sport and then he goes to the league, that's kind of what happens. So that's what I've seen a lot of. I'm not going to put it on a race thing, because I also see a lot of NBA players also with black women or Hispanic, like whatever it may be that they like. But also, to Cam's point, you're going to go for who's down for what you are down for. So if you want to do a certain thing and she don't like that, you're going to find the girl that likes that. And that's just that. That's what I think. So I don't know. Thing before we wrap. So Paul Pierce explains why he thinks NBA players date white women. He said, honestly, I think that maybe they appreciate maybe more and they apologize more. They don't mind being held accountable. Ari's thoughts on this quote from Paul Pierce.
Let's go, Mo. Let's go. Let's go, Mo.
I got a black woman. We've been together for 20 years, man. He just chose the wrong black woman. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of comments on it, but maybe Paul just chose the wrong black woman, or maybe his approach with women is a little bit different. I don't know how he handled women or how he let women handle him, but I don't know.
You can't talk, Mo. Just say you can't talk.
I heard Bezo laugh in the back, so Bezo laughed.
Nigga don't want to get in trouble tomorrow night. This is shit Paul Pierce talking about.
Hey,
if nobody understands me, Bezo understands me.
Yeah, I'm in the Airbnb right now. While they fix up some things in our new house, right? And my wife is right here on this part. I wish I could turn the camera on. But let me just show you how the peas handle it, When she gone, I'll be talking again.
Yo.
Nah, let me stop. I think, go ahead, Kel.
Hey, Cam,
So basically,
talking behind our back.
so basically, what's going on is, and Mace's wife is my sister, and Mo's wife is my sister, because I love my brother's wives, everything. But this is what Paul Pierce was talking about. Just look at them niggas. Look. This is what.
All right. Check this out.
No, don't be tough for me, Murder. Murder, keep it. Don't be tough for me. Don't do it for me. You better calm the fuck down and don't be tough for me, Murder.
Check it out. Listen. Mo is in Ohio. In California, it's 60%. So you gotta understand the metrics, right? Killer know what I'm talking about. It's 60% in California. So.
I thought you was in Atlanta. I thought you was in Georgia.
No, I told you I'm in an Airbnb that moving to a new house, waiting to move into a new house.
Oh, so you in the state of California though?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the percentage is different. But let me just share with you. I don't know if that's true because I think when it comes to women, I think women kind of act the way a man allows them to act, if I could say that. Yeah, that's exactly what I believe. I believe there's some women that'll act the way you need them to act. If you get them, it's the terms that you get them on, right? So if you meet this young lady and you've been dealing with her based upon your dollar amount in your pocket, if you lead with your pocket, then you really don't have no power. Like everything with you is based off the money you spend in the bag you buy, the car you buy. But if it's based on like my style of dating or anything like that, it's based off the guy that you are. And when that's the case, she should be reliable. She should be what's the other word you said, Stat? She would be accountable. And what else? She comes with being respectable because she respect you. Now, when she only respect you because you got money, or she only respect what you do, then this is why she's acting that way with you. You know what I'm saying? Some guys get the best out of a woman and they don't have money. I happen to be one of them, you know. Even with us standing there, she knows the truth. If I didn't have a dime, I met her when I didn't have money. I met her when I gave away all the money I had, and she still was willing to follow what I said. Because she trusts me.
I get that 100%. Me, well, and that's great takes from both you guys. You gotta realize when you deal with white women, sometimes they feel like, my people did you wrong. Yeah, bitch. Go make a sandwich. Fuck is you talking about? Watch me go dunk this basketball and I come home, suck my dick and rub my feet. Because your ancestors wowed out on my ancestors. Now we in power. And they be like, I am the devil. We did do you wrong. Yep, you're right. So that's what, I get where Paul Pierce coming from. Look, see, you guys found great women. So, you know, certain people envy that. So you guys are in great situations. When you got other people, when you work hard for money, or you're a celebrity or you're an athlete and you're in a certain position and they come with nothing to the table and then try to tell you what to do, nah. And I'm not saying, race, I'm not even using race with this, but like sometimes you gotta get me, or I gotta do this a lot. I always have to do a history check sometime when I'm with females because they try to be like, yo, why you wasn't picking your phone up? Where you was at? And I'm like, you ain't making no money. you ain't no 6-digit bitch. You know, you getting by. You can't question me, yo. Now, if you was bringing something to the table, you know, I actually pay your rent here and there. You know what I'm saying? A little phone bill, little kids need something here and there. Don't question me, man. You're not allowed to be questioning me. So I'm not, this has nothing to do with race. I'm just saying me, Cameron, personally. You gotta bring something to the table for me because I got a lot at the table. Now, if you're helping me out in other ways, I don't really need you to make money. If you're helping me out and we grow a business together and so on and so forth, then that's great. But I haven't met anybody that I love more than my money yet. I just haven't done it, man. And I'm looking for it out there. So congrats to you guys, but if I need be, me and my uncle, like I said, we got the plan. If I ain't meet nobody by the time I'm 65, 70, I'm just gonna mail order bride. Basically clean up my crib, do what I tell you to do, and leave you a couple dollars if I get up out of here. But I'm not settling. That's what I'm not gonna do. Not just settling for anything. I can't do it. Can't be like, oh, you know what, I'm about to be 50, 60. Why don't I just settle down with you? For what? Nah, I'm not doing that, man. And I tried to keep it real with you know, the people I was with younger, but that was the problem. I tried to be like, okay, I'm starting to get a couple dollars. I'm a celebrity. Okay, this, that, and the third. And they start telling me how to run my life. I'm like, your life ain't going that well. My shit doing a little better. You don't stop telling me how to do. I'm not over there at your job telling you, yo, you not putting the staples in the stapler correct. Nah, don't tell me what to do. I just can't. I haven't met that person yet. Now, congratulations to you guys, because I'm looking for a future voice. Sorry.
Yeah,
maybe that's what Paul Pierce meant.
Yeah,
he put a race to it.
That.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say that Paul Pierce, for what he's saying, I can see what he's saying is correct for him, because with most NBA players, it seems like the women that they're with, what he's saying is people that are married until they're no longer playing, they retire, and then the woman divorce them and take all the money. And he's not seeing that happen with Caucasian women. He's seeing that happen a lot with Black women, and I think that's what really he's taking that take from my vantage point. That's why I say I do understand what he's saying, because after doing research, I was like, wow, that's interesting. A lot of athletes get divorced after they retire. So it's like after she get all of the bread, she move on. Is that true, Mo?
Well, yeah, in most cases, a lot of guys, once they get done playing, the girls are usually there for the entertainment. And when the entertainment and the thrill is gone, she move on. But, I'll say this, right? Because it gave me a chance to think when you and Cam was talking, or when you and Cam was talking. But with Black women, when you start getting paper, your whole life become customized, right? So you ain't got to put up with shit that you don't want to. How you live, where you go, what you eat, who you around, the security you have, the planes you jump on, like your whole life becomes first class. So niggas don't be tolerating shit. And most times with the Black women, like it's just gonna take a little bit something different out of you. And if you don't really have, I don't want to call it game, or if you just don't have those interpersonal skills, it's gonna annoy you. Be like, man, get the fuck out of here, right? And so that's what I think he's saying, where I'm so rich I can just choose what I want to, where he may say, hey, white girl is gonna let me do what I want to, so I'm gonna keep her around. And I'm just searching for pleasure. And it just all depends on where people are in their life and what they want and what they accepting. And so just a Black woman, and I don't think he was saying it to be funny, he just says something that Black dudes be feeling and be talking about. Just sometimes Black women give you hell, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes it be fun when she give you hell. Sometimes it annoys you, you know what I mean? But it's just gonna take a different level of, it's just a different level of individual to deal with a Black woman.
I think what Paul Pierce was saying, to me, he just used white women. I don't think it's race related. I think that if you're going to tolerate certain shit, you're going to tolerate certain shit. If you could get away with certain shit with people, females, or vice versa, females with males, you're going to get away with it. Obviously, he has situations, to me, if he's using this, that he get away with doing what he want to do with white women as opposed to not getting away with doing shit with Black women. To me, it's not really race related. It's about what you want to do in life and what the female you dealing with is willing to put up with and what you're willing to compromise because of how much you love for the female, because you love her. Let's say, for instance, you're a dude that likes going to a strip club 2-3 nights a week, but you found the girl that you love and she doesn't appreciate it. Do you compromise that? Can I go one night, honey? No nights. Now, come on now. I can't go cold turkey. Can we slow groove this? It's about what they're willing to deal with when you with a female. I don't think it's race related, my personal opinion.
That's Killer is wild.
He's not wrong.
Exactly.
I have a quick take, and I'm gonna just make it short. I really just think it's based upon environment, because a lot of the top athletes go to certain schools like a Duke or like UCLA or something like that. I just think that going to for example, I went to a PWI. There was only 8% Black people, and most of the Black people played on sports, so the pool was real small. I feel like if they're dating or have a girlfriend or whatever in college, she's most likely gonna be white, and that's who's gonna follow him when he transitions to the league. That's just kind of what I've seen. And also a difference is for me, I went to college for education. Some people go to college to find love. So if that's your agenda and you're looking for a boo and he happens to be playing a sport and then he goes to the league, that's kind of what happens. So that's what I've seen a lot of. I'm not going to put it on a race thing, because I also see a lot of NBA players also with Black women or Hispanic, whatever it may be that they like. But also, to Cam's point, you're going to go for who's down for what you are down for. So if you want to do a certain thing and she don't like that, you're going to find the girl that likes that. And that's just that. That's what I think. So I don't know. Interesting quote, interesting takes. That's what I think. That's what I got from it. And yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think that there's accountable black women, and there's what else he said? They're not accountable and what
apologetic, appreciative.
Now I would say that I don't know many black apologetic women. I don't know many that are quick to apologize. I happen to have one, but I don't know many that are like that. Hey, man, have you ever met a black woman that just told you, "Hey, I apologize for how I cursed you out"? And we're being real. We're being real. Like nobody should be offended by this. We're only saying what we came across.
The whole thing about I have females that I dealt with.
Apologetic.
I have female. It's about see. That's what I'm saying. It's about the personality. I have females that won't ever apologize, and I have females that don't even want the problems. They'll be like, "Let me just suck your dick so we not fighting." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're submissive. You know what I'm saying? For real. Cause listen, I'm being honest with you, cause I had a girl.
Do you know a lot of them? Do you know a lot?
No. I don't know a lot of them, but I'm just saying it depends on what you're dealing with. Cause me, if I'm mad at a female, I'll leave and I won't speak to her. I'm Aquarius. Like my grudge go month, 2. You're not gonna get me mad and we gonna have mad sex like, yeah, I'm mad, let's fuck. Nah, I'm not speaking. I don't do the mad sex. And I ignore people. And I remember I was dealing with this girl, she said, yo, why don't you, she said, all that ignoring me for 3 weeks, just kick my ass and get it over with. I said, I'm not kicking your ass. I'm not kicking a female's ass. What are you talking about? I'd rather do that than you ignore me. But this is the shit that I hear. Like, I'm not supporting that and I didn't do it. I'm just saying the shit that I hear. But I don't really think, the reason why I say it's not race related, and it's not a lot, but this, like I said, this is my last thing on it. It's like when niggas be like, yo, you acting like that because you're Sagittarius. All Sagittariuses do this, and then, oh yeah, an Aquarius, so you doing this like this. Oh yo, you from Harlem, so all y'all Harlem niggas do this. Oh, that's because you from Brooklyn. Oh, you from 7th Avenue. Oh, you from Lexington Avenue. Niggas will always find a way for the reason why you act the way you act and blame it on astrology, blame it on the way that you grew up, blame it on the part of the country you from, blame it on your last name, blame it on anything. I tell them, and this is my last statement, but I tell people about people all the time, is this. When you in jail or somebody's in jail, it's a nigga birthday every day in jail. So it isn't like it's just the Capricorns or the killers or the cancers or just the murderers or credit scammers, yeah, or the fucking Taurus or the stick-up kids. It's a nigga birthday in jail every day. It's niggas who do all type of shit every motherfucking walk of the earth. So you can't categorize one thing and be like, yo, the white girls, it's just about your environment, how you grew up, a bunch of different shit goes into.
Paul Pierce recently dropped a comment on camera that instantly got people talking. And once Mace and Cameron caught wind of it, they clearly weren't prepared to just let the statement pass without challenging it. The conversation centered on why certain NBA players, after reaching major levels of money, fame, and influence, seemingly become more likely to date outside their race, especially white women. Pierce's explanation basically suggested that based on what he's personally experienced, non-black women may sometimes show greater appreciation, apologize faster, and take accountability more willingly when relationship problems happen. That's a pretty heavy opinion to make publicly, because a statement like that can either get you absolutely cooked online or open the door to a conversation people have been avoiding for years. Mace and Cameron chose the second route, and what started as a debate about NBA players' dating preferences quickly became something far more complicated than that. Very quickly, the discussion became personal, when one of them explained that he's been with a black woman for around 2 decades and has no complaints whatsoever, raising the possibility that Pierce may have simply dealt with a difficult individual instead of uncovering some universal truth about an entire race. And that's the distinction that gets lost every time these conversations go viral. Somebody can have one personal experience, strip away all the circumstances surrounding it, and somehow turn that single situation into a theory about millions of completely different people. But real relationships don't follow formulas like that because they're shaped by personalities, communication styles, values, expectations, and life circumstances that have nothing to do with someone's skin color. Still, Mace and Cameron weren't trying to clown Pierce or act like his point wasn't worth examining. They actually dug into the argument because when multiple successful men describe similar experiences publicly, simply dismissing everything they're saying can be just as intellectually lazy as accepting the stereotype without asking any questions. That's when the conversation shifted toward a factor that keeps appearing whenever athletes, entertainers, and extremely wealthy men reach another level of success: control. The idea was that once a man starts making serious money, he can customize nearly every part of his life around himself, from his house and food to his travel, security, personal access, and the people constantly surrounding him. But here's where things get interesting, because when someone becomes used to controlling almost everything around them, not every woman is going to want a relationship where she's expected to follow his rules or accept a completely one-sided dynamic. So perhaps the deeper issue isn't race at all, but what happens when a person becomes accustomed to getting exactly what they want and eventually meets a partner who refuses to play along that way. From that perspective, dating may have less to do with racial preference and much more to do with whether someone can genuinely function inside a lifestyle that becomes more complicated, demanding, and heavily controlled as success increases. Then the money conversation became even more important because they began comparing relationships where one person is financially dependent with relationships where both partners maintain their own independence. When someone remains with you largely because you provide the lifestyle, connections, access, or financial security, the person controlling those resources naturally holds more power, and that can dramatically affect the way both people behave. But when a relationship is built around trust, character, history, and an authentic emotional connection, loyalty can mean something completely different. One of the men pointed out that his own relationship began before he had significant money, which meant his partner had already proven her loyalty before fame, wealth, and status ever entered the equation. That's a powerful point because it pushes back against the idea that loyalty can be categorized by race, when genuine loyalty is usually revealed through years, difficult moments, pressure, and circumstances rather than somebody's background. Then the discussion took another surprising turn toward an issue that doesn't get enough attention when professional athletes are discussed: what happens after retirement? One possibility was that maybe Pierce's argument isn't really about white women whatsoever, but instead reflects what happens when an athlete reaches the end of his career and those massive checks eventually disappear. The theory is that some relationships created during the peak of an athlete's career can become unstable once the lifestyle built around that career suddenly changes. The attention decreases, the excitement wears off, and now the relationship has to stand on its own without the money, fame, and spotlight that may have hidden serious problems for years. If Pierce has watched former teammates, friends, or people around him experience ugly divorces once their playing days were over, you can understand why those observations might shape the way he views relationships today. But that still doesn't prove that one race is somehow better at relationships or breakups, because Pierce could simply be reacting to patterns he's repeatedly witnessed in his own environment. And honestly, one of the strongest points raised involved environment and exposure, because that factor could explain far more about these dating patterns than a broad racial theory ever could. Many elite athletes spend their college years in predominantly white social environments, whether they're attending a major Division I school or a university with a relatively small black student population. If that's the world surrounding them during those crucial years, then naturally that's where many of their earliest serious relationships are going to develop. Some of those relationships can then follow them into professional sports, where suddenly millions of dollars and massive fame become part of the equation. So in some cases, it may not be a calculated racial preference whatsoever, but simply the result of who happened to be around them while they were young and developing their adult lives. And when you consider that some college students are actively looking for relationships, while others are laser-focused on earning their degree, it becomes even easier to see how these connections can form long before an athlete ever becomes wealthy or famous. Then the discussion got especially interesting when they started breaking down accountability, apologies, and the controversial suggestion that one group might supposedly be more willing to accept responsibility than another. Instead of accepting the racial comparison at face value, the conversation moved towards something much more personal, personality and individual behavior. The truth is, some people simply will not apologize, no matter their race, gender, upbringing, or life circumstances. Others will admit they're wrong almost instantly because they'd rather fix the problem than spend hours arguing about it. Then there are people who absolutely hate conflict and will do almost anything to calm the situation down and restore peace inside the relationship. That's not a racial trait at all. That's human behavior, influenced by someone's childhood, past relationships, emotional development, and individual personality. From there, they reached what might have been the most important point of the entire conversation. People love using easy categories to explain complicated behavior instead of examining the actual individual involved. Zodiac signs became the perfect example because people will seriously blame someone's actions on their birth sign just as quickly as they'll blame someone's personality on the neighborhood or city where they were raised. It's almost like people believe your birthday, hometown, or zip code automatically decides how you're going to treat somebody you love. But the comparison they brought up was simple and surprisingly powerful. Inside a prison, somebody has a birthday every single day. That means every zodiac sign, every hometown, every personality type, and every possible background exists among people who eventually made terrible choices. You can't completely explain someone's behavior through astrology or their upbringing, because every category contains people who make both positive and destructive decisions. And once you look at it that way, Pierce's entire argument starts taking on a completely different meaning. Maybe race was never really the central issue at all. Maybe the real conversation was about character, boundaries, expectations, and what each individual is willing to tolerate in a relationship, while race simply became the label Pierce attached to patterns he believed he'd personally noticed. By the time the discussion wrapped up, both men seemed to reach essentially the same destination, even though their arguments took different routes. Neither seemed willing to treat Pierce's statement as a universal fact about an entire race, and instead they repeatedly pointed back to lifestyle, environment, personal history, and the expectations each person brings into a relationship. Because once fame and serious wealth enter someone's life, relationships become complicated regardless of who the partner is, and suddenly loyalty gets tested. Insecurities become easier to see, and you discover whether the relationship was built on something real or simply held together by convenience. Pierce may have gone through relationships that genuinely shaped his perspective on dating, but the problem may have come from taking those experiences and applying them to an entire group of people. That's one of the easiest mistakes people make. They go through several situations, recognize what looks like a pattern, and then suddenly believe they've uncovered a universal truth, even though every relationship involves completely different people and circumstances. And that's what makes this discussion much more interesting than simply deciding whether Pierce was right or wrong, because the real story is everything happening underneath that original statement. Money can completely alter relationship dynamics. Fame can change them as well. And the environments people grow up in, the places where they spend their most formative years, and the people they encounter along the way can influence who they eventually date much more than people realize. At the end of the day, loyalty, respect, communication, and accountability don't belong to any particular race. Those are individual qualities created by the people involved and the decisions they make, not something determined by skin color alone. Whether you agree with Pierce's perspective or believe Mace and Cameron offered the stronger argument, one thing is hard to ignore. Relationships lived under the pressure of fame and enormous wealth come with challenges that most everyday couples will never have to face. And honestly, that reality might explain these dating patterns far better than any sweeping racial theory ever could.